Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having a fantastic weekend. Yes, it's been 2 weeks since we last gave you a chicken and garden update, and fall is finally here. We're starting to see leaves falling. The skies are changing. I just had a stink bug land on me, and we've got lots and lots of wasps around. Luckily, we did have a pest control expert come around, and so they've taken down some of the wasps' nests that were accumulating in our eaves, because that happens a lot at this time of year. Something else is happening at this time of year that happens a lot, and that is everyone is molting. Like, seriously, my chicken coop is full of feathers. Everybody is molting, including Charlie the rooster. And there's a wasp, so I'm going to move away. Everybody is molting, getting ready for the winter, and so it looks like a chicken has been murdered in the chicken coop. Thankfully, that is not the case. The good thing about molting, though, is that everybody has stopped laying eggs, or most of the hens have stopped laying eggs. And that means that I can catch up with eating a lot of the eggs that were laid over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, I had COVID. I was also away. My wife, Kate, doesn't eat as many eggs as I do. She does eat eggs. She doesn't eat them as quickly as I do. I've been eating basically egg white omelettes for breakfast every day. I'm losing weight. I've managed to lose just over 23 pounds now, and egg white omelettes are a great way of doing it, and the dogs don't mind having a little bit of egg yolk every now and then. So that is a cool way to make sure that I can help the chickens, and I can also be healthy at the same time. As you can tell, I'm still a little gruff from COVID, and I'm not out in the garden gardening at the moment, and you can tell that because the lawn has got really, you can see my shoes, it's got really long, and there are thistles that are developing, and I need to get out here and sort some stuff out. But a couple of things that did happen while I was away. The deer, because I didn't have chance to protect all the plants before I left, the deer have come and basically cleaned me out. I think there's one bit of sprouting broccoli there. There might be some more broccoli that will sprout, maybe, but the deer have basically cleared up most of those. They've taken most of my sprouts as well, and I might get some sprouts growing on here, but they're definitely stunted because of that. My leeks are doing just fine. These are just absolutely lovely, and my herbs are doing really well as well. So here we've got some flowers coming on. I think this is a type of basil. Yes, it's a type of basil. We've got some thyme there. Ghost, please get off. And Ghost, importantly, Ghost is without his cone of shame. I don't know how many of you knew about this because I kept it quiet, but Ghost ate a rope toy just after I got back and I had COVID. He ate pretty much an entire rope toy. It got stuck in his in between his stomach and his intestines, and he just had to have major surgery, $4,000 worth of emergency vet bills. But he's doing a lot better. He's actually Ghost, come here. Will you show everybody your scar? He's got a because apparently scars are cool to show off. Ghost, come here. He's like, I don't know what you're going to do. So let me show you his scar. He has a huge scar you can see on his belly right here, where he was, slit open so they could save his life. But he's doing a lot better now. It's a puppy thing. So if you have rope toys, don't let your dogs eat rope toys when you are not around. Normally we keep an eye out, but I was away. Kate was distracted and busy with other stuff because obviously we lost power. It was all very not happy. But anyway, we've got some other cool things. This parsley is doing great. It's in need of cutting back a little bit. My lemon balm is still growing. My rosemary, my basil here is doing really well as well. And that's really strong stuff. And this is my sage. It's doing really well here. As is my curry plant. Now, I don't know how many of these are going to survive the winter. In the past, we've lost things over the winter. Oh, but you know what I have just spied, Ghost? I have spied some broad beans, some fava beans, and they actually have beans in them. Wow, I thought they'd all died off, but no, there's some broad beans that are doing very well. It looks like there's enough there for me to harvest, so I'm going to get a last hurrah of broad beans before the autumn really sets in and everything goes. Sorry, that was a stink bug just went over my head. I lost all of my raspberries and all of my strawberries when the power went out. And I don't know if I've talked to you about that, but basically what happened was we had a power cut, and it was a power cut that was created by the utility company. Because you can see, right, we've got trees. This is my neighbour's property. We live in a forested area, and we have a little kind of third of an acre plot along here, and all of the houses up here had their power turned off as an emergency prevention, fire prevention method, because the winds were really strong. It was gusting very strong. It was while we were away, the rest of the team were away at Fully Charged in San Diego, and of course the vehicle that is best suited to helping us deal with that was away, the pickup truck. So my wife lost power for the best part of 2.5, 3 days. And if you don't know, out here in the country, most of the time you are on well water, which is what we are. We have well water, we have a septic tank, and that means that we didn't have any way to irrigate the ground. It was very hot. We lost our raspberries and our strawberries because it was just so freaking hot. We also lost what few apples we had on our apple tree, but that's okay, because this year the apple trees have just grown. They're doing okay. We managed to keep the potatoes well, and also the small number of parsnips that we have, they had enough cover. They kept growing. This potato is the last of the original potatoes. It's still growing. It's still producing crops. I'm very, very surprised that it's doing it, but it seems to be doing it quite happily. And then here, this is the first time I have ever grown effectively second crop potatoes. And these ones were put in the ground in late August, early September, and they've already started to grow. I need to put some more soil on so we can encourage the roots to actually bear some potatoes. But we're going to have a really good crop of potatoes right up until the first frost of the year. So I'm super excited about that. And also, this right here, these are my, with some spider webs in, these are my horseradish, and they are doing very well as well. My tree is not doing so well, but you can't have everything. And the other casualty from us having the power off was all of the tomatoes and the cucumbers in the greenhouse. Sadly, they did not survive. Everything else did. So we were pretty lucky in that regard. Because I'm still full of COVID and I'm not yet fully better, I'm not going to do a whole lot of gardening this week or next, but hopefully very shortly I will be back in the garden because we have so much to do. We want to get, and I don't think I've actually shown you this before. Let me show you this here. We have a massive polytunnel that needs to go up. We're going to make it a kind of semi-permanent structure. We're going to put some wood underneath to make sure that it stays secure, and it's going to go right there. And that's one of the reasons why we're probably going to have to get rid of the Project Honda. A couple of people have reached out interested, and I just don't have the energy to work on it, and I don't have the money to work on this as well. The other thing that's worth noting, and I'm telling you this in the garden update, and now I'll know who really pays attention to the channel, and that is we have just been given the final set of plans to install right here the Ford Charge Station Pro and the backup system so that that truck will soon be able to back our whole house up. They're going to do some modifications here to this this breaker here. Excuse me. They're going to move a couple of breakers from inside out here. There's a couple of things that can't be backed up that they're going to have to put out here. But we're going to importantly move this onto the main board because that can be backed up. We have enough power. We did the maths and I did some inrush tests and that's all very well and good. The other thing that we've got done, which is not so pleasant, is we have got our pest control folks on contract at last. We'd been looking for one for a while and we've now got one. We have unfortunately had to put some rodent poison down because we live in the country and we've had some rodent problems, including a mouse that managed to make a nest in one of the air conditioning heat pumps, and it was a very unpleasant experience for the repair guy when he came out to look at it. So yes, an ounce of prevention, I think, in that case is something that we want to make sure. It's a nice house. We don't want it to fall beside the wayside. Neither do I want you to fall beside the wayside. So I do hope that if you enjoyed this video today, you will consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. And don't forget to leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. There are links in the video description. And if you did like today's chicken and garden update, which was a little bit light on the garden, but nevertheless, you could leave me a super thanks. It's really easy to do, and everything you do send our way goes towards helping make great content. You can tell I'm still not 100% recovered from my COVID yet. If you haven't already, please make sure you've subscribed to this channel and to our main channel, Transport Evolved. And of course, make sure that you ding that bell on both our channels so that you know when our next video goes live. Thanks on behalf of everybody on the team goes out to everybody who makes this channel possible. That includes everyone who supports us on Patreon, as well as those of you who support us on YouTube, and those of you who watch and share the video. You are all very important. If you are a supporter at the charged up level, you might see your name here on my right hand side. If you don't see it, please do not fret. We've been away and then we were ill. So we haven't been keeping up with our lists, and I know that's a bad excuse, but it's the only excuse we've got. Thanks to our self-driving tier supporters, Chris Maxwell, Pedro Miller Pinheiro, Patrick Boyarski, Bennett Elder, Brian Newton, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leon, Andrew Martin, Gita Trahota, Brophy Wolf, Tesla in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Dan Blair, Jim Burness, Chris Centaur, Chris and Michael Johnson, Peter Dillinger and Denny Hyde. And of course, super out of this world thanks to our Starman level supporters: Anonymous Freak, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Rory Litwin, Joe Bresney, Reed R, JP Fagerback, Russ, Will Graylin, Matthew Drobneck, Kevin Burrowbridge, John Lyons, Andrew Glenn, Paul Conway, Laura Reynolds, and last but not least, Ian. If you would like to support us, you can become a super supporter by following the links below. You can do it through Patreon, or you can do it through YouTube, or you can now send us Bitcoin, Ko-fi, or buy something cool from our cool swag store. I will be back with more awesome content very soon. My wife has left the workshop unattended, and so I'm going to sneak in and show you something that she's been working on that I think is truly amazing. This is a wooden closet door that she's making, and this is going to be the White Tree of Gondor. She's made one half, the other half is there. It all needs to be glued up, but she is making amazing things, and I'm just so lucky to have someone so talented in my life, because if ever we need anything made of wood, Kate's there and ready, but she's also camera shy, so that's why she's not on the camera. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving.